my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, there you have it. The Cowboys and the Eagles tonight, folks. The Cowboys and the Eagles tonight. And let's just, I don't know, folks. I got to go with the Cowboys on this, not because I think the Cowboys are better than the Eagles, but to me, the Cowboys have something to prove. They just do. And, you know, we've seen this a lot with the Cowboys. They start out the regular season, you know, the first, you know, few games, maybe 5 games sometimes, and they just look untouchable. Untouchable. Wow. Who's going to stop the Cowboys from winning? Cowboys are going Super Bowl. And then, you know, something always tells us, well, hold on, wait, this is how the Cowboys always do it. And it just takes, you know, something small to interrupt the momentum. And usually it's a Dak injury. That's what it usually is. Dak is always getting hurt lately. And some other quarterback comes in. Dak goes out, another quarterback comes in, and then Dak comes in at the end, right? The Cowboys then make it to the playoffs. Sometimes they're a 1 seed, sometimes they're a 2 seed, sometimes they're a 3 seed, whatever they are. It's always the same result. They never make it to the NFC Championship game. And a lot of times they just get blown the hell off the field in the second round or the first round or something like that. They never make it to the NFC Championship game. It's always something with these guys. And a lot of times Dak plays like trash and everybody is done with Dak. It's over with this guy, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes back and cleans up and gets another big paycheck. You know, I don't know, folks. Remember, they said don't give Dak that big contract until he proves himself. Well, Dak ended up getting that big contract without proving himself. And then, what, it's been like 2 years since he got that big contract, right? And each year he melted down with that big contract. So, look, I got the Cowboys winning this one. Especially, I think they have, the defense really has something to prove without Micah Parsons. So I think the defense is going to come out hitting and try to prove we don't need Micah. We can do this without him, because Micah really didn't have a great season last season. To me, it wasn't all pro like that. It was just, you know, and that's what everybody was mad about. We thought he was going to do better last year, and he really didn't do too much of what we thought he was, you know, he had the ability to. So, you know, I think it's going to be, I won't say it's just going to be the defense. I'll give Dak some credit and say he's going to come out, because Dak, we know about Dak now. Dak gets in a rhythm. Dak can throw the ball. No question. It's just something, we have no idea what's going on in the playoffs with this guy. It's almost like Vince Carter, right? Vince Carter, he has Hall of Fame numbers in the regular season. He could shoot a 3. He was basically good. He was like 38% or better, you know, in his prime. In the regular season, he shot a good field goal percentage. He scored 22 to 25 to 27 points in the regular season in his prime. But when the playoffs came, this guy was shooting 40%, 39%, 35%, 36%. I think one year he shot like 30% in the playoffs. It was horrible. And it was the same thing. It was a brick fest from 3. He was shooting like 18%, 20%. It was just horrible in his prime in the playoffs. It was a disgrace. And it's kind of like Dak. It's kind of like Dak that, you know, Dak puts up all these great numbers in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he's a whack job. He's a whack job. And I guess this, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say for this guy. So I think I got the Cowboys winning. I don't think they're a better team. I just think they got so much more to prove. And if I'm mistaken, I think they don't they play at home tonight, right? I think the Eagles play at home, because they were talking about the tickets. These tickets tonight were the most of any regular season of all time. People were buying them up and selling them for $4,000. It's crazy. That's just for the standing room. Like, wow. Come on, man. So they shouldn't even allow people to do that in the first place, because it could be the Eagles organization buying the tickets up and reselling them. Who the hell knows? But I just think, the Eagles, they're going to be on a high trip, and it's, the Cowboys are just going to come out there furious. They're going to try to just stomp them out. And it's really not going to mean nothing to the Eagles per se, because the Super Bowl championships, it's the first game. Everybody knows it might be a letdown game as far as, they're so excited and the Cowboys are pissed off. I mean, I don't think anybody is thinking that the Eagles is going to come into this game playing pissed off and want to win this first game. Yes, we know they want to win this first game, but they're not going to come into it pissed off with that type of anger. So I just look for Dak to do his Dak things, win this game and win a few games before they start melting down. Maybe 5, maybe 6, right? Somebody's got to do a compilation, right, of all the years that Dak failed in the playoffs, in the media trashing this guy, right? Maybe not his first season or nothing like that in the playoffs, but I'm talking about like the second time, third time, fourth time. I don't even know how many times we're at now. I done lost track. They bash this guy and say he's got to go, he's got to get traded, you got to cut him, and then they say, well, who's going to take him because he's making so much money, and if you release him, then, or of course they're not going to just release him, but if you trade him and he goes to somebody else and then he starts winning, you look like a fool. But you keep him and you still look like a fool. To me, no quarterback has no reason to be performing like this, man. No reason. Again and again, year after year. Let me see if I can look this guy up. It's just old, man. It's just old. Let me see. Dak Prescott. So, where the hell is his numbers at? Of course, you're not going to show me. There we go. Well, you're not showing me the year. There we go. So Dak came in the league, goodness gracious, in 2016. He played 16 games. Well, I don't know if he came in the league in 16. This is when he started in 2016. Let me see if I can look up the bio. Oh, God. I don't know. I guess it's got to be 2000, around that time. So he started in 2016, played 16 games. So, oh, goodness, man. I just don't know, man. He's been in the league since 2016, from what this says, at least. Wow. Let me see if I can look it up. Dak. See if I can look it up real quick. They always 32 years old. Dude, you ain't getting no younger. So he came into the league. Yeah, that's right, 2016. So he started? Wow. Okay. Came into the league in 2016. He was NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's been a 3-time Pro Bowler, 16, 18, and 23. What else? In 1 second team All-Pro. Led the league. That was in 2023. That's it. He was only second team All-Pro in 2000. So he only been All-Pro one damn time? Wow. He led the league in touchdowns in 23. That same year, he was All-Pro second team, but he's only been All-Pro one time. Goodness God. So, you're trying to tell me you gave him all that money for being All-Pro second team one time? You're trying to tell me he can't be All-Pro second team 5 times? Because people are going to make, what's his face was All-Pro first team, so they're going to throw out an all-time great quarterback. Okay, that's fine. If you're that dude and you're making all that money, okay, you need to be All-Pro. It don't matter. Second team at least 5 times. So what a joke. What a joke. But they'll say, "Oh man, he was a Pro Bowler." How many quarterbacks is it on a Pro Bowl? Like 6 or something like that? I don't know. You got the starter, and I think you might have the backup, so I think it's maybe like 4, if I ain't mistaken. But yeah, this is why people don't like sports anymore, because these guys make too much money for doing nothing. So this guy's actually been in the league. This year will be 10 years, right? No, well, he came in 16. Well, something like that, either 9 or 10. So the guy is overrated, man. He's definitely overrated. Cowboy fans should want a new quarterback, because at this point, the guy's just stealing money. They can, it's probably all kind of Cowboy fans out there that just like his, I don't know, just like his personality. I mean, just like his persona or something. Like, I don't know, bro. Either you're a winner or you're not. I don't know. This is the era. This is like the LeBron James era, right? You put up a whole bunch of good stats in the regular season, but when it really counts, you can't do nothing. It's ridiculous. You can't do nothing. You shouldn't be getting all this money just because you're doing something in the regular season. Man, at least, we're talking about all these players, or all these, all these quarterbacks that have went to the Super Bowl since this guy's been in the league, folks. Just think about it. We're not even talking about winning. A lot of these guys didn't win the Super Bowl. That's fine. There can only be one winner. That's not my point. At least they made it. At least they made it to the Super Bowl, right? And then you had quarterbacks that won it. You got what's this guy's name? Is it Josh? No, it's not Josh. The quarterback for the Rams, right? Stafford. Well, Stafford even won a Super Bowl, and Dak didn't. We expect it from Brady. We expect it from Mahomes. And that's basically the only quarterbacks that won in the last 4 or 5 seasons. And then we got the last year, the Eagles quarterback, he won. How's he winning and Dak ain't winning? And this guy's been to 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls, folks. Since Dak has been to 0. How did you go to 2 Super Bowls? Right? And the guy just came into the league. The Eagles quarterback. He's been to 2. And he got revenge on 1. Did he get beat by Mahomes, right? If I'm not mistaken. I want to say didn't he get beat by Mahomes on the other one? I thought he did. If I'm mistaken. Because I thought did they just run out the clock or something like that? I forget what it was. But it was a dumb penalty. And then they just ran out the clock at the end on a penalty. Whatever. Even we talk about Josh Allen, Macaulay Culkin. He went to the Super Bowl. Macaulay Culkin went to the Super Bowl, right? The Cincinnati quarterback, the Bengals quarterback, right? He's been to the Super Bowl. I mean, where we at? Where we at, folks? They ought to be. If I was a Dallas fan, I would not ever purchase a ticket as long as Dak was in the league, was on the team. I wouldn't. For what? So I can see him put up some numbers in the regular season? And so that, they can talk about the Cowboys? Now, last year, ESPN and everybody, they said, we're going to hold off on the Cowboys. We're not going to talk about them because we know, we don't care that the Cowboys is 1-0, 2-0, 3. We don't care. This is the Cowboys. And then as they start getting to the middle of the season, halfway, okay, let's talk about the Cowboys. And then that gets hurt. I'm just saying, man, there's no reason for all these different quarterbacks to be in the Super Bowl, rather win or lose. And Dak ain't been there one damn time. And guess what? There's really no excuse. The AFC is a tougher conference than the NFC. It just is. So what's the excuse? He should be coming out of that NFC like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. No excuse, folks. No excuse for these delusional Cowboy fans. There's no excuse. Stop living in delusion and hold your team accountable. Stop buying tickets. Stop going it. Stop supporting the trash. It ain't worth it. It's better to start over than pay for the trash. Pay for the damn same conclusion, the same meltdown every year. That's all it is. It's the same meltdown every year by Dak. That's what it is. You're going to pay for that? Good luck. Good luck with that. Like I said, all-pro second team one time? Wow. One time. Wow. We might have to do another Dak video just on Dak to show you how overrated this guy is and put up, other guys' numbers and stuff like that. And, what they done in their career. These guys have been in there as long as Dak. Okay, and it might be some guys that just came in there that did some better things than Dak. Like I said, that AFC is stacked. You got Stroud. He's supposed to be a good quarterback, getting better this year. It's just stacked over there in the AFC. We all know with the Ravens and the Bengals, the Buffalo, all those good quarterbacks over there. KC. I mean, the quarterback play over there is stacked. There's no reason for Dak never to come out the NFC and go to the damn Super Bowl. It's unexcusable. And it's, for me, I'll just say it, man. It's stealing money. You're stealing these guys, these fans' money. You're not playing up to your potential. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares about the regular season? Get to the playoffs. And then you got some guys, we talk about the Lamar Jacksons. We talk about the Josh Allens. We talk about them never being able to come through in the AFC Championship game. Well, at least they're getting to the AFC Championship game, right? At least they're giving themselves a chance to get to that point. And they're getting beat by, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And the best quarterback, the last 5 years? Mahomes? So they're getting beat by Mahomes. Who the hell is that getting beat by? He ain't getting beat by no all-time great quarterback, but the fact is, this guy has been getting paid, all this money. And the fact that he said he was going to sit out, said he wasn't going to play if he didn't get that money, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a damn? You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything to deserve that money. Any quarterback can get a team to a second round. Any team can get a quarterback to a second round. And he's been having good defenses around him. It ain't like he's been carrying the defense in the regular season. Now, I'm not going to try to say the defense played great in the playoffs every year when they lost, because they did it. But in the regular season, basically they have. And if your defense ain't playing good in the playoffs, if you're that dude, you're supposed to carry your defense. You're supposed to be the guy with the ball in your hand last. Let me get this. Dude fumbling all over the place, losing the ball, throwing all these interceptions, just doing all this crazy stuff. Like, you're not in the regular season no more. The game slows down in the playoffs. You ain't there in the playoffs to, show your regular season talent. You're there in the playoffs to show your clutch ability, your playoff talent. It's a whole different game. That's what separates the good from the great, and the greats from the all-time, say the good from the best, whatever you want to say. We just know Dak ain't up there. He's not one of the greats, and he's not an all-time great. Right? See, a great will be Hall of Fame, and, you're saying we were talking about the NBA. A great, to me, will be a Hall of Fame. All-time great, that's when you're separating yourself into the top 75. Right? And I think they have that in the NFL, too. I don't know if they're at like 100 or something, the top 100 or something like that, but Dak ain't nowhere on that mantle. He ain't there. Two-time All-Pro, one-time All-Pro second team. Don't let me give you an extra one. You don't deserve it. One-time All-Pro second team. That's crazy. Since 2016, folks. So I think this will be his 10th year. So we done heard a lot of stuff, throughout the year. Oh, man, this only his 5th year. Oh, this only his 6th year. This is only his 7th year. We hear that type of stuff. Still got time. Does he? Does he? I know these quarterbacks can play for a long time now. Good for him. But the reality is, the guy he can play for 50 years. But does he deserve the money? And it's going to be looking crazy because his contract is going to be over soon, because he didn't sign for that long, right? What was it, like 4 or 5 years? And I think he's like, this might be his 3rd year into it. So He looking crazy. He better wake up if he thinks he's 32 years old. So if he thinks he's going to get another contract, and you know what's so crazy is he's going to have to start running. This is a run and throw league. It's a run and throw league because when he gets in the playoffs, he's like damn shell shocked. For some reason, he can't run no more. He just can't run. He just throws it, and then he throws these interceptions. Then he fumbles. He does all this. So you know, if I was a betting man, I've never betted once in my life. I don't want to do that, man. I don't never want to start gambling like that. Old lady beside, she always talking about get a scratch off at the store, and I'm like, she know I don't like that stuff. I don't, because I done seen, you know, family members get addicted to that stuff and they waste all their money on that stuff, and say, oh, it's just $1. If you don't play, you can't win. I'm like, well, if I don't play, I ain't gonna lose neither. I ain't gonna lose my money neither, and I damn sure ain't gonna get addicted to it. Hell no. But yeah, if I was a betting man, just from like, you know, watching, you know, the NFL for years, well, I won't say it has to do anything with that because the NFL done changed, but from watching, you know, the way Dak plays, the way, you know, the regular season starts, and you know, this is how NFL is. The team who wins the Super Bowl is a lot of times just a letdown. They get blown out. Sometimes they get embarrassed and all this crazy stuff, and you know, that's just the way it is. They don't really have nothing to prove. And the visiting team, of course, they have everything to prove. Or the team that didn't win the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's always the visiting team, but the team, you know, who didn't win the Super Bowl, they're trying to destroy. They're trying to destroy the Super Bowl winner. That's just how it is always. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Dak threw for 400 yards. But what does that mean? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to his legacy to come in here and destroy the Eagles? It really means nothing. Check it out. The Eagles won a championship last year, and their quarterback ended up being hurt during the season, right? And if I'm mistaken, I think they had a really good record. Was it last year? Oh my goodness. I want to say did they start out the year real good, and then Jalen Hurts got hurt, and then it kind of messed up their record. Whatever. All I know is Jalen Hurts was hurt during last season, and they still end up winning the Super Bowl, folks. I ain't gonna say he was hurt in the Super Bowl, but what I'm trying to say is, what's the excuse for this fool, Dak? What's the excuse? And Dak got hurt last year and then came back. And I know when they didn't say he was hurt, that's why he was. They did say because he was hurt, right? Oh goodness. You can't even remember year to year with this guy. There's always something going on with this guy. I'm trying to tell you. Let me try to remember. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm trying to tell you, so I don't remember these things in detail like that. But I'm just trying to remember that last game. Did they say he was hurt? That's why he was throwing all that. That's why he didn't run or something like that, because he wasn't running a lot last year. I don't know, man. You guys gonna have to tell me in the comments. There's really no excuse for this guy. When you're getting paid that kind of money, there's really no excuse. You know, they can't say, yeah, Dak took us to the, you know, Super Bowl one year and we ain't never been back, or, you know, he took us to 3 NFC championships. Unfortunately, we ran into such and such. No, sir. Can't say that. Can't say that. Nope. I don't know what to say for you. Cowboy fans. It's a joke. And with, you know, the way things cost now, the cost of living and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these seats are empty for the Cowboys. But then again, I won't. It's a lot of rich people that live in Dallas. I'm just trying to tell you. It's a lot of rich people that live there. So, I mean, I guess I could be wrong. You know, because those tickets are, a lot of those tickets are on, what do you call them? They're sold out for like years or something like that. So it's Jerry World. A lot of people, you know, they go to see the game, but at the same time, it's a lot of amusement in Jerry World, right? People, you know, they like to go tailgate. They like to go do these type of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, we always talk about the NBA, right? The NBA we always talk about these ain't real NBA fans, right? That's what we always say, right? Are these real NBA fans? No, they're not real NBA fans because, they don't hold these players accountable. They're allowed to carry, travel, and do all these things all game. And the fans don't call them out. Back when I was watching the NBA back in the day, you would get cussed out by your home team if you missed a damn free throw. Okay? Let alone carrying and traveling. Some basic kid rules and stuff like that. So, that's basically what you got to question. Some of these fans in the fan base, in some of these sports, are these real fans or they just want to go see entertainment? Because that's what the NBA is now. They just want to go see entertainment. They don't care about no rules. They don't care about winning. They just want to go see entertainment. They just want to be there because it's an NBA game and it's a whole bunch of famous players playing. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. They don't care about the standard of the game, the rules of the game, these guys are playing defense, these guys are hustling, anything like that. They win a championship, nothing like that. If you listen to NBA games now versus the 90s, wow, those crowds in the 90s was really loud. It was just nuts compared to, these days. Okay? Like I said, back in the day, you had die-hard, what do you want to call it? Traditional fans. You don't have that today. And I don't think Cowboy fans are diehard traditional fans. These fans today, I don't think they are. I don't think they are. So you guys let me know about Dak. Let me know if you're a Cowboy fan, if I was accurate about this. Is it even more that I need to be talking about? I didn't get on here to do a Dak video, so I didn't, want to go in. I didn't go in detail of every year he lost in the damn playoffs, but we all know the past 3-4 years, it's the same damn result, them losing in the first or second round, being a favorite a lot of times, and just melting down, just playing horrible in the clutch. When it's clutch time, we know that. And yeah, let me know about who you got tonight. I think it might be a Cowboys in a rout. It don't mean nothing though. It's just one game, and the Cowboys got everything to prove. And one game ain't gonna prove nothing. But if you're the Cowboys, you don't want to start off 0-1 with that kind of confidence with Dak. I don't know, man. I was just mad because I thought last year, if I ain't mistaken, I was saying Dak faked the injury. That's what I was saying. I think Dak faked that injury to get out of there so he won't get no heat. And they'll feel sorry for him, once he came back for the playoffs. So you guys tell me what you think, man, about this game tonight. Who's gonna win? Yada 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 yada. So let me know.